We work hard, we play hard. We are gamerpreneurs. Individuals who have chosen to give up the security of a 9 to 5 in favor of getting to set our own hours, of doing the work that we want to do, and we refuse to give up the hobby that we grew up with in order to, quote, grow up. We have learned countless laws of life and sales from the games that we play, and we excel in everything we do. We see the wonder and glory in every interaction. We fit in awkwardly with the rest of the world because they don't understand our quirkiness, and we wear it as a badge of pride. We are focused, clear, and know what we want. We are gamerpreneurs, and we are taking over the world. Hey there, everybody. Welcome back to the Gamerpreneur Podcast. I'm your host, Dr. Bradford Carlton. Today, I have a special guest. We have DariusSlayer, a.k.a. Eric McVinney. Hi there, Eric.
Hey, how's it going?
I'm fantastic. How about yourself?
Doing all right. Just surviving this cold weather.
Or where you at?
I'm up in Delaware, but we get snow, but it doesn't last long. But the temperature still is relatively the same.
I understand. I think it's down to maybe low 50s today. It's freezing.
Yep.
So, Eric, why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Sure. I have worked in the gaming industry for quite some time, starting off in QA like most people do, and worked around the world. I've worked both East Coast, West Coast of the US. I've worked in Germany twice and in Tokyo as well. So yeah, my my travels have been wide and far.
All right. Well, what's your favorite place to be?
My favorite place, I do miss Tokyo. I do. As expensive as it was, and probably still is, but not as much as San Francisco. It's still a great place to be. Not just for like the food, because that's all that I was about, but also the culture, the people, just everything was fantastic there. Yeah.
Wonderful. I'd love to see some pictures sometime. All right. Well, I always start every podcast with kind of on a light note. So could you tell us on a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being high, how weird are you?
Normally I'm just on a 5, I would say. I mean, kind of weird. Throwing alcohol, it'll be 11, but yeah, I would say a 5
All
or
right.
6.
Very nice. But why would you say that?
Because I try to not scare away people with my total weirdness. Like, I can get weird, and I've sort of calmed down on that as time has gone by, and when I'm with my friends, that's when that weirdness comes out more, that social interaction. But streaming, it's different. It's really different because it's not the same as being in like the same room as someone else and having that that sort of interaction with the other person. But I do try and take it there, but I just can't. It's like there's something holding me back from just being that.
Okay. Sure
Yeah.
thing. Now, you say you're a streamer. What platforms do you stream on?
I stream on Twitch, Mixer, DLive, Facebook, and YouTube.
So if you can stream, you're there.
Yeah. If there's a platform, I'll probably be on it.
All right. How did you first get into streaming? Like what got you into that in the first place?
Well, after I was laid off from Good Game Studios back in 2015, I was burnt out from the industry. It was my breaking point, the proverbial straw on the camel's back, so to say. And I wanted to still play games and share that experience with everyone, like my joy and my passion for gaming. And so while I was working at Good Game Studios, I've been watching other streamers on Twitch, such as Ninja, Shroud, Dr. Disrespect, all of them. And I started thinking, what, maybe I could do this. Maybe I could, delve into that streaming field and see what it's like. And so far, it's been a learning experience, an expensive one, and but enjoyable at the same time for the most part.
All right. How are you doing on that? How many followers do you have?
Right now on Twitch, I know I'm well above 600, I believe. For Mixer, it's above 2,300. For D Live, it's like around 250. For YouTube, abysmal, and Facebook, 85.
Okay. So do you find it hard to try to do it on all these different platforms? Would it be easier just to be on one?
It would be easier to do on one, and I've heard the talking points for why you should only focus on one platform, because you want to focus your time and energy on that one particular group and audience. But I think honestly that's a cop out, because if you can multitask using a program, using OBS and focusing on the stream and talking to your people, why would it matter on what platform that you're on? You're still talking to people no matter what. So it's just more people. And
Okay.
that's great. So it just keeps you busy. So there you go.
Sure. Now, I bet we here on the video, I can see you have a couple monitors on the side there, and I'm sure that you have a couple others. So you probably just
Fourth.
have all kinds of chats going everywhere, huh?
Yeah. I've been planning on getting a fifth monitor just because.
Oh, just get like a 72-inch TV or something, just mount it to your wall, break it up into different monitors that way.
Well, I do have a 52 inch.
Okay, well, what makes your stream unique? What's different about you as opposed to everybody else?
um, I that's really difficult. That is because I try to stay as honest about how I react to a game and to whatever product I'm interacting with, to my viewers. And like, if I am excited about it, I will be excited about it and I'll show it, even though I need to work on that sort of particular emotion of showing that excitement, being like overly excited. But at the same time, I don't know, it's like I'm always calm about some things. And I guess it just comes with age, where I'm like, if something bad happens in the game, I'm like, it's like that deep sigh. I'm like, all right, I'll do it again. But what one of the things that I like doing is being creative. And so with my Mixer channel, what I've done is I've created several Mixer events. And what Mixer has, which made me move to Mixer, this was before I restreamed, was because Mixer has an interactive board. And with an interactive board, you can set up buttons, interactive buttons that the viewers and followers can play around with, such as having a sound effects, like music going, or a clip from a video on YouTube, that sort of thing. It's all up to the
Okay.
imagination of the streamer to set everything. And so what I've decided to do is create several interactive boards for particular seasons, such as Bellwether of the Equinox is for the fall season. And then I have another one for Christmas, another one for winter, spring, Chinese New Year, summer, all that.
Is that hard to
Um,
set up?
it's not particularly hard. It's tedious. It's tedious because you have to. Mixer doesn't have like this copy and paste function, so that you can just copy one board, paste it, and then reconfigure the buttons. No, you have to start all over from scratch. It's so tedious. But um, I do that because I want people to come back and have a different experience, for each of those seasons. And that's one of the things I believe which helps uh, help me, stand out. But other than that, I don't know. I'm just myself. That's it.
Okay. I
Yeah.
was about to ask you, what unique skills do you think you have that have helped you be successful?
One of my unique skills, I wouldn't say skills per se, I would say experience, and that is having worked in the video game industry. And if there's anything in particular about critiquing a game and the development process, I would have more knowledge about that than probably most other streamers.
Would you be willing to speak on that a little bit? I'm sure some of my listeners are wannabe or are game developers and would love to hear that.
Okay, sure. For example, when a particular game, let's take for example EA, with their monetization practices and how that had also affected Anthem. And now in the news currently, BioWare wants to start Anthem anew. Just totally um, make Anthem happen again, make Anthem great again. And and I gotta say, from my own experience, they would have to start from the ground up. They would have to do exactly what Square Enix did with Final Fantasy XIV. I don't know if you had played the original Final Fantasy XIV when that
Not
came
14.
out.
I played 11.
11, yeah. 14 was, to say lightly, a travesty, and it had a lot of problems, UI problems, a lot of tutorial quest problems. And so Square Enix did the right thing and just started all over. And they won back the trust of their community, of their fans. And 14 is now one of the most successful MMOs. Now, with Anthem, even if that were to happen, even if Anthem were to start all over again and be be, let's say, free to play, because it is competing against some of the top free to play looter shooters out there, Warframe, Destiny 2, and even if they were to start over, they still have that EA sign hanging over them.
Sure, it's
And
in the
that
game.
and that would make some people hesitant. Now, in with my own experience though, I would have to say that for them to get back that trust, no microtransactions, none whatsoever. Don't do it. And also take time to redevelop that game, even if it's like 2 to 3 years. Do it all over from scratch. Use some of the same assets, sure, but do it all over from scratch.
Sure, but saying no microtransactions, is that even feasible nowadays? Even Nintendo has some
Well,
microtransactions.
yeah, that is true. What I mean by microtransactions, nothing that is pay to win. Let me just put it that way. Nothing that's pay to win, and nothing that would seem to be overpriced. And for the quality of the items that they had for their store, that Anthem had, were horrible. Like if you were to pay something like $5 and it had like a black background graphic with a few scribbles on it. I remember there was something like that, a skin for that for your javelins. And I'm like, this shouldn't be like $5. This shouldn't be $4. This should be like free or something. The quality that you pay for the product that you're receiving should match that. And it didn't. And for a lot of the stuff in the microtransaction store for Anthem, it was like, no, it was horrible. So, yeah.
Well, let's hop back to your stream for a second. What kinds of things do you play or do?
The games that I play are a variety, and that has been a double-edged sword for me, because I like to play a variety of games because my my threshold of attention is low. And if I play a game for too long, I get burnt out like that. And so I have to move on to another game and another game and another game. But that has been helping me, and with myself. But people who come into my streams, they've been like, oh, what is he playing today? Oh, what is he playing today? But some people want to watch you be consistent with a game. Like if you're going to be playing Fortnite, they want to see you play Fortnite probably 3 or 4 days in a row. They want to come to your stream knowing that you're the streamer that plays Fortnite, or you're the streamer that plays Monster Hunter World, so on and so forth. And so what I've done is set up a schedule. And this is, I believe, is really important, is having a schedule, staying dedicated to it, and playing the games that you would be excited about personally, but unsure if other people would want to watch you stream. You play that during your off time. So that has actually really helped me
Okay.
maintain my schedule.
All right. So you just mentioned that you kind of learned something as you were going. If you were able to go back to the past when you were first started streaming and were able to give yourself some advice, what would you say?
Um, I would say this is going to be somewhat controversial because it's been in the back of my mind, and I know a lot of people aren't going to like it, especially those on Mixer. But stay on a stay on the platform that you are happy with, not in just regards to how the staff treat their streamers, but also the community and the community that you have built on that said platform. Stick with that. And there are times that you will go through that will feel like there's this stagnation going on, like you just hit a plateau. That will happen. It happens with everyone. Stick with it.
How do
You'll
you get over
pull
the
through.
plateaus?
Hmm?
What does it take?
What was that?
What does it take to get over those plateaus? You say you'll hit
Hmm.
plateaus as you go. Well, how do you break out?
Best way to break out of these plateaus is to network. Get to know people, interact with another streamer's stream with that streamer. I'm not talking about like self-promotion or anything like that, but get to know the people on that platform. Because there's going to be some days, and this has happened to me, that a streamer will be like, you know what? I wonder what DariusSlayer is doing. Let's go ahead and check him out. That's happened to me before. And I've done that to other streamers. I'm like, all right, you know what is Behind Cover doing today? Or Neospell or Raw XTV. I wonder what they're doing. And that happens with everyone. And so you go into the stream, you interact with them, you host their channel, and and it goes back and forth, and it just grows and grows. So the viewers on their channel recognize you because you've interacted with them numerous times, and then they start coming onto your channel and they see what you're doing, and it just grows like that. And so really that's what streamers should be doing, is interacting,
Okay,
but
so
not doing like the whole
on-platform
follow for.
networking.
Yep, exactly.
Beautiful. Now, say someone like me who does not have a stream yet, I'm considering it. I'm not sure what it's going to take. What advice would you have for someone who's not even started yet?
My advice is one of many is find a game or a genre that you are passionate about or that you really enjoy. Be it MMOs, RPGs, looter shooters, what have you. Find that and just make that your thing, and have a brand as well, such as a logo, a motto, and rules, and how you want to grow your community and what you are about. People want to know you. People want to know, who is this streamer? Who is Brad, and what does he like, and how do we relate? That's what people want. That's what I believe that viewers want to see and want to hear and want to be a part of. So
Wonderful, wonderful. Okay, something you just mentioned about setting rules for your community. Can you talk about that a little more, please?
yeah, sure. Setting rules for the community, such as like a no harassment policy. Don't be racist. Don't talk about politics. Don't be rude to other streamers or other viewers, that sort of thing. Also abiding by whatever platforms TOS is, terms of service. So that's a must.
Right.
But as for politics, though, and this is an idea, is I have yet to see a streamer on Mixer who is heavily focused on talking about politics, but not making it dirty. You know, not making it intense. That would be interesting for me to see, and having rules and guidelines for that stream or for that stream channel. That would be interesting.
That would be.
I would like to see that.
Well, you can always do it. Just put on a mask so no one knows it's you.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. It'll be a Guy Fawkes mask.
Exactly. All right, let's talk about you as a gamer. So you've worked in the game industry. How did you first start getting into video games? Where did that begin for little Eric?
It began when I was little Eric, and it was shortly after. Well, my dad was in the Air Force, and we were stationed in Zeppelinheim, I believe, in Germany. And my brother and I had heard of the Nintendo. And so shortly after we left Germany to move to Oklahoma, I believe it's Oklahoma, I remember going to the store with my brother and my dad, and we had just bought a Nintendo. And the first game was, of course, Mario Brothers, Super Mario Brothers with Duck Hunt.
Mm-hmm.
And a couple months later, I don't know when, and I think this was the beginning, right? This was the beginning. I know it now. This was the beginning of DariusSlayer's path of bad choices for video games, because my brother bought Blaster Master, right? That was such a phenomenal game. I bought Who Framed Roger Rabbit.
That was a horrible game.
That was the beginning of bad choices. And so, yeah, it's all downhill from there. But
Well, speaking about the future,
yeah.
what games are you looking forward to coming out soon?
Oh man, I am looking forward to Final Fantasy VII Remake. That looks
Which part?
phenomenal. That looks really good. Not just because it's a remake of an amazing classic RPG, but also because you can play it in a classic setting. They have a mode called Classic Mode, I believe, where it's not action oriented, but it's more like, you play it as if you were playing the original Final Fantasy VII. And it's like, that's actually pretty cool.
That would be
So
interesting. I don't think I've heard of that.
yeah, I think one of the producers mentioned that, and I'm like, that's amazing. So, you can think of like all the different playthroughs that streamers could have. They can have action mode or classic mode or play for the story or that sort of thing. So I think that's going to be like a major hit, especially for, any kind of streamer out there. Yeah.
Okay, very nice. Now, what would you say your favorite game of all time is?
I would have to say the top favorite game would have to be Wizardry Tales of the Forsaken Land on the PlayStation 2.
Okay, I haven't heard of that one. You're gonna have to give me a rundown.
Yeah, that game. Okay, so that is a part of the Wizardry series, a long-running series, and it is an RPG, dark fantasy RPG. So just about anything that's dark fantasy automatically gets a thumbs up from me. But it's not just the art style; it's the setting, the music. The characters are like, you can sort of relate to the characters, or you can understand their motives. Be it the good guys or the villains. Like, you understand their motives. You see why they did the things that they had to do, and it's just the atmosphere, everything. You can tell that the developers put in a lot of passion and time into this game, and it just resonates with it. And it's the combat mechanics, it's the items and everything else that you can interact with. It's not just it's not just like the game itself, but post game, where you have like this dungeon that is almost infinite, and you can keep challenging yourself over and over again as you get deeper and deeper into the dungeon. It's fantastic. I love it.
Okay, wonderful. That sounds awesome. Now, you as a person, what is it you're doing outside of gaming?
Outside of gaming, I am drinking alone. No.
You said on stream
Partially
before I
true.
joined you.
um, yeah. Outside of gaming, I'm just kicking back, reading, networking, hanging out with other streamers on their streams. So, like right now, I have Raw X TV playing in the background, just lurking there. And because I'm supportive of him, I'm part of his team, the Extreme Team. Shout out. And yeah, it's what I do, and it helps network, it helps grow, and it helps you avoid those plateaus that I mentioned earlier. And yeah. Aside from that, getting in touch with family, and this is actually really important. Going back to the advice that I would want to give to streamers out there is there's a there are three things that you have to balance in your life. First is family. Like, you can't get rid of that. I know it's touchy. Like, I'm getting teary right now. Never, ever.
It's okay. We're here for you.
Never put that aside. Next is friends. You can sort of always keep in touch with friends too. But it's really important to have family first. Friends come and go for sure. That's happened to me, even in the industry as well. But yeah, I would have to say, having a balanced life is really important. And what I mean by balanced is not only keeping a schedule for yourself, but also exercising, eating healthy, reading, going out, being part of like a social event. That's what I mean. Like, yeah, it's great, having your own home, living in a good neighborhood and all that. But if you're not socializing outside of streaming, you're missing out on some potential opportunities out there. So that's my recommendation as well, advice, if you will.
Thank you so very much.
Yep.
It's all right. You're not the first person to cheer up on my podcast. Always a little surprising, but
yeah.
so let me humble you a little bit as a person. What's something you failed at?
Go ask my dad. No. God, that's bad. It's true. No. What I've failed at? God. I would have to say relationships. Like, I've almost gotten married twice, and I've chosen my career over that, and those were some pretty bad choices. I don't even need to say it, but yeah, that they were bad.
Okay.
I chose work over personal, growth and relationships. And my advice is don't do that, obviously. And I failed at trying to, and I still struggle with it now, is trying to find my place in streaming and growing my brand, growing my channel, doing what I need to do to grow. Because even though I'm even though I'm networking and interacting with other streamers and using social media, which is also very important, using social media, be it Instagram, being Twitter. Like with Instagram, take pictures of like the game that you are streaming next, or take pictures of what you've cooked that day, and make sure they have a link on your Instagram profile, to your whatever platform that you're on. Have them all linked together. And yeah, I'm still struggling with that, and it takes time. It definitely takes time, and I've failed at the realization that it takes time.
Well, day by day, in every way, we're getting better and better.
Yep.
At least as long as we're trying, that is.
Yeah.
So let's go back to your stream a little bit.
Mhm.
So say somebody comes into your channel for the first time. What is something that you think they might not quite understand about what they're seeing?
I think what they don't understand is how horribly I'm struggling at the game. Like getting my butt kicked by a monster. Like today with I was streaming Monster Hunter World for, let's take this for example. And I was getting my butt kicked by Rajang, which is, if for those that don't know, is essentially Donkey Kong on steroids and with like two big horns on his head. So I'm getting, and can go Super Saiyan on you. And so I'm getting my butt kicked by him. And people who come into a stream kind of expect you to be really good at the game. And so if they see you struggling with a particular monster, they're like, whatever. And they go to like some other streamer, who is probably better than at the game than you. So I try not to think about that, but I want people to know that I'm trying. I get carded a lot. But when they come into my streams, I just want them to know, just chill out, hang out, talk, interact. It's what helps me get through my streaming day.
All right. Now, do you have a good chat or a bad chat?
Um, a bad chat is a. I want to say a bad chat is a dead chat, but a part of me also thinks bad chat is also having the trolls coming in and taking control of your chat. Never allow trolls to control your stream. Just ban them, time them out, or ban them. But I guess it goes from person to person, really, because I've had a few trolls actually become followers of mine, and somewhat frequent followers, because they're like,
Says something about your charisma, I guess.
yeah, it's my charisma, or I don't know. It's like they just come in, they try to troll, and they're like, all right, fine, I'll just hang out. Well, that's the thing. It's like for trolling, if I get a kick out of it, then it's all good. But if it's like harassment or just dumb, then I'll just be like, nah, ban.
What's the worst trolling you've ever received?
The worst trolling I've ever received, I haven't had anything that resulted in like a well, yeah. It was like a racial video. It was a video that had like a lot of racial insults in it that I received through a donation link. Because when you're on Twitch, you can be given bits, and people can post up like whatever on there. So yeah, that has happened to me before.
On the flip side, what's the best compliment you've ever received from your chat?
Best compliment I've ever received from a chat is I don't know word for word, but I've had people say, I always come by your stream because you help me through my day, or I've been entertained. It's something simple like that, to me, is what makes it a good stream, is when people say that they've been entertained, or I've helped them through their day, or they give me embers and donate money to me because I need food. So
That's wonderful. All right. Now, you've mentioned a few other streamers during the course of this podcast. What's the community of streamers like?
It's very diverse. It is, especially when you're restreaming. Because I have people that I like on DLive, I have people that I like on Twitch and on Mixer, and I try to put time in for all those other platforms, but so far it's been mainly Mixer, because I feel like the community on Mixer has the least amount of drama to it. And so that's what I like. And the communities have been great. The streamers that I've interacted with have been fantastic. They've been caring. They've been knowledgeable. Like, for example, RawX, he's helped me out with my streams, giving me advice and feedback. And that's what I would recommend for upcoming streamers or people who want to stream, is ask for advice from like veteran streamers. Ask them, how should I set my schedule? How should I do this and that? Just ask, and you might hear back. You might be surprised with what you would get from them.
Awesome. All right. Now, if you're involved in this community of streamers, what's something you see people doing wrong?
I see a lot of people who think that because they're partnered, they can get away with a lot of things, like posting up unprofessional quotes or photos to help promote their own stream. I'm not going to name any names, but it's happened to a partnered streamer just recently and on Mixer. And yeah, everyone was like, how did he become partnered? How did that happen? So there's that sort of drama. And what I also recommend is be nice, be humble, listen to what others have to say, but also take it with a grain of salt, if you will, from time to time.
Okay. Oh, this has been great. Thank you so much, Eric, for coming on. Now, how do people find you? What are your handles? What are they looking for?
My handle has always been DariusSlayer on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, Mixer, the whole 9 yards. Except for Xbox, that's DariusSlayer 0, the number 0. I had forgotten my password on my Xbox, so I was like, making a new account. And a couple weeks later, I'm like, oh, that was my password. Oh, well, I'll just stick with DariusSlayer 0.
Excellent. All right. Well, this has been a fantastic interview. Now, is there anything that I didn't ask you think we need to talk about still?
I do believe we need to talk about the changes on Mixer, such as I know that there's been talk about how there hasn't been much influence or viewership on Mixer, even though that Shroud has come on or Ninja has come on, and you have all these other big names that might come on. There has been splashes here and there. There have been people who have come onto my stream who have said, and I was playing Fortnite, and they would say, I was a follower of Ninja or a follower of Shroud, and I'm just looking on to these other streamers who play these games that I enjoy. There have been people like that, viewers like that, who have become followers. And so if it's happened to me, it's going to happen to like just about anyone else. I've seen a few streamers that I know of that I follow who have had like 0 to 1 viewers for like months on end. And they have between now 5 to 10. I know it's like small for some people, but for them, that's something. That's something right there. That's a huge growth for them. And so that's what keeps them going. Yeah. Yeah. So I say, yeah, there has been a positive effect with Ninja and Shroud, making that move onto Mixer. I should dock their disrespect. But I doubt he will. I doubt it.
We shall see. Who knows who's going to move over.
Yep.
All right. Well, Eric, thank you so very much for coming on the podcast with us today.
Yeah, thank you for letting me on here and letting me rant. So
all right, that's what we're here for. All right, on that note, I'll just go ahead and say bye-bye, and you take it easy.
All right, you too, man. Take care.
Hey, if you like this podcast, I'd love to invite you to check out a little bit more about me, Dr. Bradford Carlton, Gamerpreneur. If you go to my website, www.thegamerpreneur.com/bonus, I'm going to give you a free copy of my book, The Warcraft of Business, where I explain my history in both gaming and business and how I brought the two together in order to create some very successful companies and help a lot of people. And all you got to do is pay for shipping and processing, and I'll send you this book. I absolutely know you're going to love it. All right, you all take it easy.